Hey Blades and Bushlore, this is my sharpening demo for the challenge that was posted. I'm going to use a trade axe, a replica trade axe from the Native American trade era, and this is my sharpening segment. I'll be using just a round stone. This axe is pretty sharp already. I'm just going to use the fine grit, but it's got the dual grit on it, coarse and fine. A little bit of spit. This is my technique here. Like I said, this blade's pretty sharp, so I really don't even need to do any of this. But if it was dull, I'd obviously need to work at that a bit. Maybe use both sides. I don't wear a belt very often, so I use a moccasin for a strop. It seems to work fine for me. Might not be the best, but it works. Try and knock that burr off there. Alright. And it was a shave test too. This is my second take, so I already shaved once here, but I didn't like the way the first one looked. So I'm doing it again. Let's see if I can get her to shave. Kind of tricky with a big old blade, but there's some hairs coming off there. Could take this off the pole, I suppose, but alright, there we go. Bunch of hairs coming off there. I don't know if you can see all those. I'm sure you can. Maybe you can't. Who knows? Alright, there's the first part of the challenge. Alright guys, time to take down a small tree out in the yard here. Got a pine grove in the front. A bunch of these guys are dead. We use it for firewood, so it's perfect. Finish this sucker off, huh? Alright, I'll be back when I get this cleared out, get it out to the fire pit. Got a decent amount of wood here. It's nice. Definitely nice. I like to take off all this bark. This is prime time. This right here is prime time for making that tinder. I'm going to set that aside. I'm actually going to take that off here with my trade axe. There's a pretty nice bundle of tinder. Get going there. And I'll get more as I go. Got some good dust right there. Let's take this down a little bit. Alright, so I had to cut short last time. Decided I'm going to try and do a bow drill fire. My camera died and I had something else come up. Been working on this kit, trying to get it ready. I've tried it out a couple of times, as you can kind of tell probably, and it's not quite working. So I don't know if it's going to work. If not, I'm going to light it with a fire steel, but I'm going to give it a shot. Try and get my friction fire and this challenge, since I'm new to the site, try and get both of them done with one shot. So yeah, I'm just going to clean this thing up, get it ready. I already have a bunch of tinder made and ready to go. Just trying to straighten this thing up a little bit. It's not perfect because I'm using this axe, this trade axe, and makes it a little bit more difficult to get fine carving. I've found it's definitely not bad, but it's not ideal. So and after I get this guy cleaned up, I'm going to work on my hearth board, get that guy cleaned up and ready to rock, and then we'll try and get a friction fire going. And then I might also, just for the sake of having it, do the fire steel fire as well, just in case friction fire doesn't count, but I think it would. I'm not sure. Alright, I'm gonna set up for my hearth board here. I'll be right back. Alright, so this thing has been a pain in the butt. I've been breaking off chunks, and as you can see, I burned right through it and didn't get a coal. It's a little bit thicker than I'd like normally, but the reason I've been doing that is because carving with this trade axe has made it kind of difficult to notch the hearthboard. Every time I notch it, I crack this. This one I didn't, but up top here I cracked it a bunch of times and it would just break off as I was drilling. So it's been a challenge, which is good because that's what this whole thing was supposed to be, and I'm glad that I'm doing it because I get to test out my trade axe. So I am going to try and put a notch in this thing, try and get a starter hole going here. I'll be right back with trying to get that starter hole burned in. So I'm gonna try and burn this bad boy in. And hope that what has been happening to me as far as cracking it won't happen. Alright, that burned in pretty nice, smells good. I am going to actually put this ash right into my fire bundle. Or that soot, or dust I mean. Try and save that dust always and just add it right to my fire bundle because it'll help me spark the fire. Now, I am concerned about this thickness and if this board is going to be able to get hot enough, but I also have to carve that out yet. So I'm gonna reposition the camera, carve that sucker out and get a notch in there, and hopefully get a fire. The carving of the notch has probably been my most challenging task out of all tasks so far with this. Like I said, I know you're just supposed to use a fire steel, but I decided to make things harder for myself. Per usual. This is a delicate process here with this axe. This is not something that you can hurry up and just finish up and do. I thought at first that maybe it'd be pretty easy, but it's not. So I don't know if I'm gonna film this whole thing just because it's gonna take me a while, but I figured I'd film some of it so you guys can kind of see the technique I'm using. Basically just rocking this axe back and forth to cut through the wood since it's such a soft pine, and that is working alright. It's just kind of slow. I don't want to pry back and forth, which is kind of what I do with my knife a little bit when I'm doing this. I can kind of carve it out better that way. Because that has cracked it the past few times. So I'm just kind of rocking it in here. Try and make these grooves. I hope you guys can see that alright. I've also been having a hard time keeping my notch centered, which is pretty important. You can see on that last one that I was off by quite a ways. So that was bad. That was stupid. That was probably the reason I didn't get the fire going with that one, honestly, because the dust wasn't coming out quite right. The notch is pretty important in my opinion with a bow drill fire. Some people seem to not have a problem with it, but for me it's probably one of the more difficult parts of the thing, I guess. I don't know, everybody's got their troubles with this method, I'm sure. So, I don't know, you can see it's starting to sort of notch out. Problem arises when I actually have to take that piece of wood out of there. That's when I've been cracking this thing. Looking a little chunk somewhere. So, still working on this damn notch. Kind of needed to stand up to do the rest of this because I need a nice hard surface. And I might have made this notch too big. I think my last notch was too small, so it would be typical for me to make the next one too big. That'll kind of be my style. So I am kind of wiggling this because it makes it easier, but it also might screw me over in the long run. I'll crack it, starting from scratch. Pretty big notch. It's still not center. Oh boy, I don't know. Might not work. I'm gonna give her a go. See where we're at with it anyway. Because if I gotta redo it, I really don't want to spend any more time on it. I'm gonna reset up the camera. Alright. We're gonna give it a shot. I'm going to put some greens in my bearing block there. Reduce friction. Blah blah blah. Kind of mash it in there a little bit. Try and get it to stay in there. Feel like this could work. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a going. That is a going. Still smoldering down there. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Fire by friction. I'm actually pretty happy with that. That was all out of one tree. I got a bunch of split stuff over there ready to go on here when this thing gets going. I did it all with that little trade axe. Made the kit. That pine is awesome. Once it's going, it's going. And it looks like we got a storm blowing in, so I'm gonna get my camera gear inside. Thanks for watching.